Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. This is Caroline Vakaik. Just here in New Jersey, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm saying this for everybody who's probably out of the country because most of the people that we deal with and most of our clients are people globally, like around any part of the world. And I have to first explain to you what the voice of our child is before I tell you the story of our wonderful speaker for this Saturday. The Voice of Our Child was an organization that was founded from the pain and surprise and shock of a parent who realized that their child had struggled with depression for most of their life and had actually thought of suicide so many times and even wanted to attempt. And this mother had no idea, like most of you out there, you don't understand the things that our kids are going through. We think it's attitude. We think it's teenagers are just teenagers. We think they're just moody. I was the same mother, just like most of you. My child was just like your child. My child was just like so many children out there who have given up. Most parents are not lucky, as I am, that I can still go out and hug my daughter. For some of you, it's always too late. Depression, anxiety, sadness, all these things are real. They are the invisible ghost that affects our children. According to the World Health Organization, suicide is the second leading cause of death in teens from 7 years old to 15. And now we know, like some of you have had cases of like 9-year-olds taking their life. So when I founded the Voice of Our Child, I decided that no parent ever has to miss out the symptoms or mistake the symptoms that their child is going through. And I also decided that no child would ever suffer with the shame of depression, with not knowing what depression is, medicating themselves out there maybe with drugs or alcohol, looking for answers in places that don't even provide the answers that are the best, going into self-medication or just isolation. So I founded the Voice of Our Child. But because I am from Kenya, everybody there looks happy. Every person who's ever visited Kenya is like, I can't believe the smiles on these kids' faces. I can't believe the happiness that these people have. I am a good example of some of the people in Kenya. The smile that you see on my face, most of you know me because of my smile. But when I left Kenya, I knew that growing up there, we had a problem for clean water. And a friend of mine asked me the other day, Caroline, what do you mean that you provide clean water? So when I moved to the United States 25 years ago, I decided I will not forget the people I left back home. So I started a company called Water Gap Africa Safaris. And the Water Gap is because I wanted the proceeds to go and provide clean water. I wanted these tourists to go there and give school supplies. I had grown like a little girl in the village, and I used to see these two vehicles and with white people like waving at us, and sometimes they'd throw an empty bottle of water and we'd all run and get it. But nobody stops to give us like candy or school books or things like that. And as young as I was, I said, if I ever get a chance to go into this country where these people are from, I had no idea where they're from. I never even had a clue that I would be one day here. I'm going to make sure that these kids who are running after these two vehicles, who are excited to see a white man coming into their country, I want to make sure that those children feel recognized. So when we started a tour company, we made sure that it was an impactable tour company. I was not just going to take people to take pictures of the animals. So we call our trips, the mission trips, they're actual safaris. You will definitely go on safari, but we always make sure Whenever we are driving and we see kids running to these vehicles, we always have candy in the vehicles. We have school supplies, we have books, we have crayons, we have candy. We have just anything that you can think of in that car. And we stop and we interact with these kids and we hear their stories. And actually, so many people that I have taken on these safaris have ended up like paying school fees for some of those kids. They built a connection. I also made sure that when I take tourists to my country, I will make sure that they don't just go buy from the big boutiques where they're benefiting the people who are already rich. I take them to the local markets where they make the carvings themselves. I want them to buy from the guy who actually carves this beautiful picture of an elephant or whatever animal that you're buying, and buy from that guy. If you're buying a necklace, I want you to buy from the lady who's sitting there for hours, like fixing this necklace, promoting them. I always believed that I was born to give back, and it's something that I can't help. Most of you are not so lucky to be born like happy and excited about life and giving and everything. But out of the Water Gap Africa safaris, when I was hit with the boom, every parent should never be hit with, and I realized my child is struggling with depression, I decided that I'm actually going to be taking kids from here to Kenya, because every time I take my kids to Kenya, they're so happy there. They're just like happy and excited. And I thought, something has to be happening in this country that makes them so happy. I don't know whether it's the weather. So we started taking teens from here to Kenya. And sometimes it's teens who are just teenagers who are bored with life here. They don't know what else they want to do. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's a kid who's been struggling with depression or they're being bullied. These kids write essays to us. And companies have come up and called me and said, Caroline, I want to sponsor one teenager here to go on your mission trips. Another company calls and says, Caroline, I know this kid who's maybe a child of one of my employers or employees, or maybe a neighbor, and I want them to go on this trip. Kids' life have been changed. And I'm telling you, when they go to Kenya, they are totally forever changed. We go tea picking, we do all these sorts of things to try and bring them happiness. And when I'm not there providing the kids that we mentor in Kenya through the Voice of Our Child, with providing them with mentorship and books and everything, I decided during the lockdown that I was going to do Zooms with kids around the world every Saturday morning. I just cannot tell you just how wonderful it has been, trying to connect with these kids and hearing their stories and their fears and everything that they have. This Saturday is a very, very special Saturday for us. Normally our Zooms are like 9:30 in the morning, especially now in the summer. We used to do them at 11:30. This Saturday we're having it at 1:30 p.m. Why are we having a Zoom at 1:30 p.m.? Because our VIP guest, Robert Mark, who I met through a really wonderful guy, Will Armstrong, from a very, very wonderful show and class called Magnify, through Cheryl Hunter. I'm telling you, it's like my whole life got changed. They brought out the best in whatever we are doing. And Armstrong had my story talking about what I do, the Voice of Our Child, and said, you know what? You should invite some like celebrity to come and speak there. And I said, wow, that'd be amazing. Well, guess what? We reached out to Robert Mark. He is the author of The Happiness from the Inside Out. He has been endorsed by Oprah. He's been an Ivy League student. He is a celebrity love coach. He's famous in so many networks, Good Morning, La La Land, that he hosts himself. He has been featured as a guest in Today shows, Good Morning America, Entertainment Tonight, CBS, Ali Show, and many more. I'm telling you, when I started Googling Rob Mark, and make sure you have the Rob Mark because there's a lot of Rob Marks there, Rob Mark Official, I was hooked. I listened to his videos. I sent his happiness video to so many people who I know have been struggling trying to find happiness. I sent it to even my own daughter. And everyone is like, Caroline, who is this? Where has this guy been all my life? Why isn't this guy like every day like talking to the whole world and letting them find the happiness? He's somebody who struggled with depression, but he decided there has to be something else. He couldn't understand why everybody out there looks so happy and everything. So he went on pursuit of happiness. He's going to be talking to our kids. He's going to be talking to the parents who's tuning into a Zoom. He's going to be talking to all of you about anxiety, about sadness, about depression, and about finding happiness. We are going to be sending the link tonight into our website, www.voiceofourchild.org, and you can get the link there to Saturday's Zoom meeting. Of course, with the people who are always on our Zoom, we'll send it directly to them. But if you're really new to us, I would love for you to go to the website and we will post the link this evening. Please go on there, see the wonderful work that we're doing in Kenya, see what we mean by the need for clean water. Read about how many little girls get attacked by wild animals, they're eaten by crocodiles, and little boys as they go getting water in the river. Read about the women who are raped as they go get water from the river so early in the morning. Read about all the cases of how many sick people we have because of the lack of clean water. Read about the happy faces of the kids that we meet there. Read about the stories of people who have lost their child and gone on our trip and just found happiness there because they felt like the legacy of their lost child is still continuing. You and I can change the world. It begins with happiness and kindness, and we'll get the peace that we've all been looking for. So look up Rob Mack before you come onto a Zoom on Saturday. Get his book. I'm somebody who never is even able to read because my mind really wanders a lot when I try to read. That is one book that I have read. And I just can't tell you just how I'm like, aha, aha, aha. So this is what it means. So please look him up. He's somebody who needs to be recognized by everybody. Everybody needs a friend like Rob Mack, and he can be your friend. So tune in to Saturday at the Voice of Our Child Summit. We're going to be posting the link tonight. Love you guys, and let's all be happy.